Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're basically strapping on our hard hats and grabbing our digital sledgehammers because we are doing a massive workflow makeover. We're going to take a slow, clunky, honestly frustrating process and completely remodel it into a sleek, high-speed operation. Think about the last time you tried to open a new bank account or, maybe file a routine HR request at your job. You meticulously fill out the paperwork, you hit submit, and it just feels like it goes into a black hole, right? Seriously, have you ever wondered why those simple requests take days to process? You submit a straightforward form, and then crickets. You check your email, you're constantly refreshing the page, wondering if you did something wrong, but nothing happens. The silence from the company is just deafening. Well, today we're going to identify and eliminate exactly 24 hours of pure, customer-frustrating waste from a digital workflow just like that one. And honestly, the absolute best part of this entire renovation, we aren't going to make anyone work harder to pull it off. Okay, let's dive into this. At the very heart of our makeover is a fundamental shift from a push system to a pull system. In a push system, work just gets dumped into these giant backlog buckets where it sits around and waits. Think of a push system like a fast food kitchen that's blindly making 50 burgers and just letting them sit under a heat lamp, hoping someone eventually buys them. It's incredibly inefficient. The goal of a lean team is to create continuous flow. We want a pull system, where that burger is only grilled when you actually order it. In our digital world, that means tasks flow directly into active workspaces exactly when they are needed. So here's our renovation blueprint for today. 1. The push problem. 2. Fixing the intake queue. 3. Empowering the front line. 4. Eliminating system batches. And finally, number 5, the dramatic reveal. Let's get into it. Starting with section 1, the push problem, let's take a quick walk through the ugly house we're starting with today and see just how bad the foundational damage really is before we start knocking down walls. Right now, our current process cycle efficiency is sitting at a really dismal 2.37%. To really wrap your head around this, process cycle efficiency measures the actual time spent doing valuable work versus the time a request just sits around collecting digital dust in a queue. So right now, a microscopic 2.37% of our time is actually adding value to the customer. To put that into perspective for you, a world-class standard for service workflows is 25% or higher. Our system is severely backed up, and we've got a lot of digital junk clogging up the pipes that we literally need to clear out. Moving on to number 2, fixing the intake queue. Right now, the very front door of our process is totally broken, and it's causing a massive 14-hour bottleneck right from the start. So currently, customer requests are sitting overnight for 14 hours simply because they're pushed into a giant backlog bucket that literally no one even looks at until the morning shift arrives. To fix this, our lean team redesigns the intake using digital cells and automation. First up, we automate the data extraction using basic APIs. This means the system instantly pulls data from the user's form so a human doesn't have to manually retype the whole shebang. Second, instead of a massive general pool, we route those tasks via a FIFO, that's first in, first out lane, directly to an available associate's active workspace the absolute minute they log in. The impact of this is immediate, and it fundamentally changes the customer's morning experience. By allowing the system to auto-verify the customer's identity instantly at step 1 using that API, that massive 14-hour wait vanishes entirely. Poof, gone. Instead of a customer waking up, checking their phone, and seeing their request is still pending from yesterday, their process time at step 1 drops down to just seconds. Let's hit step 3, empowering the front line. We're moving into the next room to tackle a deeply frustrating 6-hour manager approval queue, which is a classic textbook example of the lean waste of extra processing and waiting. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the concept of subsidiarity. This simply means pushing decision-making down to the lowest competent level. Think about it. Managers acting as bottlenecks, tied up in endless meetings, while routine work just sits stacked up on their digital desks. It completely destroys flow. We've got to stop sending routine, everyday work up the chain of command just because of some outdated company policy. So how do we actually action this? Well, we create explicit, standardized checklists for the verification associates. If a request meets 100% of those criteria, the associates get the absolute authority to auto-approve it themselves. Managers step out of the day-to-day approval line, and they only step in for exception handling, like high-risk flags or weird borderline cases. Guys, this is a massive win-win. Associates feel trusted and empowered, and managers? They get hours of their day back to focus on high-level strategy rather than mindless clicking. This beautifully simple fix removes 95% of requests from the manager's inbox entirely. Section 4. Eliminating system batches. It's time for the final monster we need to slay because even after getting approved, our requests are currently hitting a 4-hour brick wall waiting for scheduled IT updates. Take a look at this comparison. Batch processing creates these massive spikes in workload and forces individual items to sit around waiting for the rest of the batch to be ready before they can move forward. It's kind of like waiting to have a full load of laundry before turning on the washing machine versus washing each shirt the second it gets dirty. In digital workflows, waiting for the full load completely destroys flow. In lean methodology, batching is literally considered the ultimate enemy. What we want is single-piece flow, which allows for the instant, real-time progression of each individual task independently. To achieve this single-piece flow, we actually have a straightforward technical fix. We reconfigure our IT system from time-based batches into event-based triggers. By setting up a webhook or a simple automated script, the backend system activation triggers the exact millisecond an associate clicks verify and approve. No more waiting around for a scheduled 4 p.m. system update. For the user on the other side of the screen, this means their account becomes active in the blink of an eye. And now for Section 5, the dramatic reveal. Let's bring all 3 of our lean solutions together and look at the final, transformed results of our workflow makeover. Look at these numbers side by side. Our intake queue went from 14 painful hours to 0 minutes, thanks to that API auto-routing. Verification dropped from a 6-hour wait on a manager's desk to just 5 minutes in an active associate queue. And activation, we completely eradicated that 4-hour delay, bringing it down to 0 minutes with instant scripts. When you add all of this up, the results are absolutely staggering. The customer's total lead time, meaning the entire complete wait time from the exact second they hit submit to when their request is fully activated and usable, dropped from nearly 25 agonizing hours down to an incredible 23 minutes. No way, right? It's huge. And this brilliantly illustrates the real power of lean. Because we eliminated all that waiting, our process cycle efficiency didn't just improve, it skyrocketed. We started at a painful 2.37%, and we have rocketed up to an astounding 78.26%, completely blowing past that 25% world-class standard. But here is the absolutely most crucial takeaway from this entire makeover. Notice that the actual human work time didn't change wildly. The massive victory came entirely from restructuring how work flows between the steps. The cultural benefits of this are just as big as the numerical ones for sure. Our associates didn't have to work frantically, they didn't have to sweat over their keyboards, and they're experiencing significantly less burnout. We didn't have to hire more people, we simply built a smarter, continuous flow that treats everyone's time with respect. So I'll leave you with this question as you look at your own day-to-day operations. Which broken workflow are you gonna restructure first? It's time to apply these lean principles, ditch the digital red tape, and transform your own processes. Grab your digital sledgehammer and happy renovating.